Imagine owning your own piece of land in Canada without breaking the bank. What if you could build your dream cabin, start a homestead, or just have a peaceful retreat, all for a fraction of the cost you'd expect? In today's video, we're diving into the 10 most affordable places to buy land in Canada in 2025. Curious about where you can find land at prices that won't make your wallet cry? Want to know which areas offer the best opportunities for future growth? Stick around as we explore hidden gems across this vast, beautiful country. Number 10. Cupar, Saskatchewan. Cupar, Saskatchewan. A place so cheap that at one point, they were literally giving land away for just $1. That's right. Years ago, this tiny town, located about 75 kilometers northeast of Regina, launched a campaign where you could buy a lot for a single loonie. While that exact deal isn't available today, Cupar remains one of the most budget-friendly places to buy land in Canada. So, how cheap are we talking? Depending on the lot size and location, you can still find land in Cupar for as low as $10,000 to $30,000. To put that in perspective, that's about the same price as a used 2015 Toyota Corolla. Even if you wanted a larger lot, over 2 acres, you're still looking at under $50,000, which is unheard of in most parts of Canada. Now, Cupar isn't some wild, remote ghost town. It's got a tight-knit community of about 600 people, and it offers essential amenities like schools, healthcare, and even a hockey arena, because, of course, this is Canada. It's also surrounded by gorgeous farmland and rolling prairies, making it perfect if you're looking for a peaceful lifestyle away from the chaos of big cities. Taxes? Another win. The property tax rate here is around 1.5%, meaning if you bought a $30,000 piece of land, you'd only pay about $450 a year in property taxes. That's less than a Starbucks coffee per day. If you're dreaming about owning a slice of Canada without breaking the bank, Cupar might just be your golden ticket. You could build a tiny home, start a hobby farm, or just hold on to the land as an investment, because let's be honest, prices this low won't last forever. Number 9. Greater Sudbury, Ontario. Now, let's shift gears and head over to Ontario, where real estate prices are usually sky high. But there's one place that's still affordable: Greater Sudbury. While Toronto real estate will have you selling your kidney for a condo, Sudbury is a whole different story. The average price for land in Sudbury is around $320,000, which sounds high, but hold on. Compared to Toronto's jaw-dropping $1.2 million for a tiny house, this is a steal. And if you're looking for vacant land, you can find 1-acre plots starting at $40,000 to $80,000 in the surrounding areas, which is cheaper than a brand new Tesla Model 3. What makes Sudbury such a great pick? Well, it's Ontario's largest city by land area, covering a massive 3,627 square kilometers. That's bigger than the entire city of Toronto, Ottawa, and Mississauga combined. And yet, it has a population of only 170,000, meaning there's plenty of room to spread out. Sudbury is also known as Nickel City, thanks to its massive mining industry. That means jobs in mining, tech, and education are booming here. Plus, it's home to 14 beautiful lakes, stunning hiking trails, and Lake Ramsey, the second largest lake in the world, located within a city. Another big advantage? Lower property taxes. Sudbury's tax rates are nearly 30% lower than Toronto's, making it an attractive place to own land without insane annual costs. Plus, the cost of living is 35% cheaper than the GTA, meaning everything from groceries to gas is more affordable. Sudbury gives you the best of both worlds: cheap land, a great quality of life, and actual job opportunities, something a lot of small towns can't offer. If you want to stay in Ontario but avoid bankruptcy, Sudbury should definitely be on your radar. Number 8. Scarth, Manitoba. If you're hunting for rock-bottom land prices, look no further than Scarth, Manitoba. This place isn't just affordable, it's insanely cheap. In some areas, you can find land for as little as $10. Yes, you heard that right, $10. That's less than a Big Mac meal. Okay, not every lot is that cheap, but even premium land in Scarth won't cost you more than $150,000 for huge acreages. This is one of the few places in Canada where you can buy 5+ acres for under $50,000, which is why many people are moving here to build off-grid homes and farms. Why is land so cheap? Well, Scarth is a very small town in rural Manitoba, with fewer than 200 people living here. It's located near Virden, which has basic amenities like grocery stores, restaurants, and healthcare. But the biggest appeal? The cost of living is nearly 50% lower than in major Canadian cities. Manitoba also offers huge tax rebates for first-time landowners, meaning you could save thousands of dollars just for buying property here. Plus, if you plan to farm, the government offers agriculture grants and subsidies, making it even more attractive. While Scarth isn't a big city, it's a dream spot for people looking for cheap land, total peace, and a place to build their dream home without going broke. If you're okay with rural living, this is one of Canada's best-kept secrets. Number 7. St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Imagine waking up every morning to the sound of waves crashing, seagulls singing, and the fresh ocean breeze. Sounds dreamy, right? Now, what if I told you that you could own a piece of coastal paradise in Canada for under $50,000? Welcome to St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, one of the most affordable places to buy land by the sea. While waterfront property in Vancouver easily hits $3 million, and even Nova Scotia's coastal land averages around $400,000, St. John's is in a league of its own. You can still find quarter-acre lots for as low as $25,000, and if you're lucky, you might even score a half-acre near the water for $75,000. For perspective, that's less than a one-bedroom condo in Toronto. Why is it so cheap? Well, St. John's is Canada's easternmost city, meaning it's a bit farther from the country's economic hubs. But that's actually a huge advantage. The city offers a slower pace of life, lower property taxes, around 0.8%, and a cost of living nearly 35% lower than in Ontario. St. John's is also packed with history and culture. It's home to Signal Hill, where the first transatlantic wireless message was received in 1901, and George Street, famous for having more bars per square foot than any other street in North America. Oh, and let's not forget the legendary Newfoundland seafood, fresh cod, lobster, and mussels at prices you won't find anywhere else. Another big plus? No land transfer tax. While provinces like Ontario and BC hit you with a 1.5% to 3% tax on property purchases, Newfoundland and Labrador doesn't charge a cent. That's thousands of dollars saved right there. So, if you're looking for affordable oceanfront property with a laid-back lifestyle, St. John's is a hidden gem. You get all the beauty of Canada's rugged coastline without the million-dollar price tag. Number 6. Pipestone, Alberta. Pipestone, Alberta. A small town that might just be the best-kept secret for cheap land in Western Canada. If you've ever dreamed of owning a massive piece of land for next to nothing, this is your spot. Here's where things get crazy. Land in Pipestone can go for as low as $9,000 per acre. To put that in perspective, that's cheaper than a brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max. Compare that to Calgary, where even a tiny lot starts at $400,000, and you'll see why Pipestone is a steal. But why is it so affordable? Well, Pipestone is a small rural community about 60 kilometers from Edmonton, meaning it's not exactly a booming metropolis. However, that's actually a bonus. Alberta has no provincial sales tax, low property taxes, and a cost of living that's 20% lower than Ontario. This makes it perfect for off-grid living, farming, or even starting a ranch. Alberta is one of Canada's top agricultural provinces, and land here is ideal for livestock, crops, or even just escaping the city rat race. Another big perk? Alberta's oil and gas industry means great job opportunities. Even if you don't want to farm, you can invest in land and rent it out to energy companies for a passive income stream. Some landowners in Alberta make up to $5,000 per year per acre just by leasing their property to oil and gas firms. Infrastructure is another win. While it's rural, Pipestone isn't totally off the grid. It's close to Highway 2, making Edmonton easily accessible. Plus, the Alberta government is investing heavily in rural broadband, meaning high-speed internet is becoming widely available. Perfect if you want to work remotely while enjoying huge open spaces and zero traffic jams. Long story short, if you want affordable large land plots with low taxes and solid investment potential, Pipestone is a no-brainer. It's like buying land for the price of a high-end laptop, except instead of a gadget, you're getting acres of potential. Number 5. Moncton, New Brunswick. Now, let's talk about a city that's been quietly rising as one of Canada's best real estate markets. Moncton, New Brunswick. If you think city living has to be expensive, think again, because Moncton has some of the lowest land prices in eastern Canada. The average price for a vacant residential lot in Moncton starts at just $40,000 to $80,000, while in places like Halifax or Montreal, similar land costs over $250,000. And if you want a huge 5-acre property, you can get it for under $150,000. That's less than a down payment on a Toronto condo. Moncton isn't just cheap, it's one of the fastest growing cities in Canada, with a population increase of over 8% in the last 5 years. Why? People are realizing that Moncton offers big city amenities at small-town prices. For example, property taxes in New Brunswick are only 1.4%, way lower than Ontario's 2.5% average. And the cost of living? A whopping 30% cheaper than Vancouver or Toronto. That means cheaper groceries, gas, dining, and entertainment, making it the perfect place for first-time land buyers. Moncton is also a bilingual city with both English and French widely spoken. It's a major hub for tech, education, and healthcare, so job opportunities are solid. Plus, it's home to some of the best beaches in Canada, including Parley Beach, where the water is warm enough to swim in the summer. One huge benefit of buying land here? New Brunswick has an immigration program that prioritizes new residents who want to invest in property. If you're moving from another province or even another country, you could get fast-tracked for residency just by owning land here. To sum it up, Moncton is the cheapest city land you'll find in eastern Canada, and it's growing fast. If you want affordable land with actual city amenities, this is the place to watch in 2025. Number 4. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. All right, if you've ever dreamed of owning a large chunk of land in a thriving city without spending a fortune, Saskatoon is calling your name. This prairie powerhouse has some of the lowest land prices in any major Canadian city, making it a hidden gem for investors, first-time buyers, and even those looking to build their dream home. While land in Toronto starts at $1,200 per square meter, yes, per square meter, Saskatoon's average vacant lot price is just $30 to $50 per square meter. That means you could buy a typical 5,000 square foot lot for as little as $40,000 to $80,000, and we're talking about land inside the city, not way out in the middle of nowhere. But what makes Saskatoon so affordable? One word: supply. Saskatchewan is one of Canada's least populated provinces, with only 1.2 million people in an area larger than Germany. That means there's plenty of land available, keeping prices low. Here's where things get even better. Property taxes in Saskatoon are only 1.43%, which is significantly lower than in Ontario or British Columbia. Plus, if you're thinking about farming, the surrounding area is part of Canada's agricultural heartland, with land prices for farmland averaging just $2,700 per acre, compared to over $15,000 per acre in Ontario. Saskatoon is also a growing city, with a population increase of 10% in the last decade. The local economy is booming, thanks to industries like mining, agriculture, and technology, and the city is home to the University of Saskatchewan, attracting thousands of students and young professionals. And let's not forget the quality of life. Saskatoon is known as the Paris of the Prairies because of its beautiful bridges, stunning riverfront, and vibrant art scene. Plus, housing prices are 60% lower than in Vancouver, so once you buy land, you can actually afford to build your dream home. Bottom line, Saskatoon offers city conveniences at small-town prices, making it one of the smartest places to buy land in 2025. Number 3. Thunder Bay, Ontario. If you've ever wanted to buy land in Ontario, but you've been scared off by million-dollar prices in Toronto and Ottawa, I've got some good news. Thunder Bay is the ultimate land buying hack. While the average lot price in Toronto is over $700,000, Thunder Bay offers land starting at just $20,000 to $50,000. You can actually buy an entire 1-acre lot for under $100,000, something you wouldn't even dream of in other Ontario cities. And guess what? Property taxes here are 1.57%, which is way lower than Toronto's 2.5% average. So why is it so affordable? Well, Thunder Bay is in northern Ontario, about 1,400 kilometers from Toronto. It's not as connected to the country's biggest economic hubs, which means land prices are still reasonable. But that's actually a huge advantage. You get all the benefits of Ontario without the insane housing costs. The city is growing too. Thunder Bay's economy is built on forestry, mining, and transportation, and it's a major port city on Lake Superior, giving it a strong industrial base. The government is also investing millions into renewable energy and infrastructure, which means land values could go up big time in the next decade. One of the best parts? Thunder Bay is a nature lover's paradise. The city is surrounded by stunning landscapes, from Sleeping Giant Provincial Park to Kakabeka Falls, known as the Niagara of the North. If you love hiking, fishing, or just being surrounded by nature, this is the place for you. Plus, the cost of living is 35% lower than in Toronto. That means cheaper groceries, gas, entertainment, and even internet bills, so you're saving money in every aspect of life. One hidden perk? Thunder Bay has a program that helps new landowners develop properties by offering tax incentives and grants. That means if you buy land and actually build something on it, you could get thousands of dollars back from the city. In short, if you want cheap land in Ontario without sacrificing livability, Thunder Bay is the ultimate budget-friendly dream spot. Number 2. Brandon, Manitoba. If you've never heard of Brandon, Manitoba, don't worry, you're not alone. But here's why you should know about it. This small prairie city has some of the most affordable land in Canada, and it's one of the fastest-growing cities in the prairies. While land prices in Winnipeg hover around $250 per square meter, Brandon offers land for as little as $20 to $50 per square meter. That's 80% cheaper. Want to build a house? You can buy a full lot for just $30,000 to $80,000. That's less than the price of a new car in Toronto. And if you're looking for farmland, prices in Brandon are around $2,200 per acre, compared to $12,000 per acre in southern Ontario. But wait, it gets better. Property taxes in Brandon are 1.3%, among the lowest in the country. That means if you buy a $100,000 lot, your annual property tax bill is just $1,300. Compare that to Vancouver, where you'd be paying over $5,000 for the same land value. So, why is Brandon so cheap? Well, Manitoba is often overlooked when people think about moving to Canada. But here's the thing. Brandon is booming. It has a stable economy thanks to industries like agriculture, manufacturing, and food processing. The city has grown by 6.1% in the last decade, and thanks to government incentives, land values are expected to rise. And let's talk about quality of life. Brandon is nicknamed the Wheat City because of its strong farming roots, but it's far from just a farm town. The city has a university, a strong art scene, and some of the lowest crime rates in Manitoba. The cost of living is 35% lower than in Calgary, which means cheaper groceries, gas, and entertainment. Fun fact, Brandon has over 2,300 hours of sunshine per year, making it one of the sunniest cities in Canada. If you hate gloomy, overcast weather, this place is for you. Bottom line? Brandon is like a secret gold mine for land buyers. If you're looking for cheap, high-quality land with real investment potential, this is it. Number 1. Mundare, Alberta. Alright, let's talk about the most affordable place to buy land in Canada. And I bet you've never heard of it. Welcome to Mundare, Alberta, a tiny town with big opportunities. And yes, a giant sausage, more on that in a second. Mundare has land for as little as $10,000 per lot. That's not a typo. You can literally buy an entire residential lot for the cost of a month's rent in Vancouver. The average price per square meter is around $10 to $25, making this the cheapest land in Canada. And if you want even more space, rural lots outside of town go for as low as $1,500 per acre. Why is it so cheap? Well, Mundare is small, really small. The population is just 852 people and it's about 70 kilometers east of Edmonton. Because it's a quiet town with fewer job opportunities, land prices have stayed shockingly low. But here's where it gets interesting. Alberta has no provincial sales tax, which means owning property here is even cheaper in the long run. Even better? Mundare is actively trying to attract new residents, so the town has programs that offer discounted land, lower building permit fees, and tax breaks for new home construction. That means if you buy land here, you're actually getting extra financial incentives to build. Now, about that sausage, Mundare is famous for having the world's largest sausage statue, a 42-foot-tall Ukrainian sausage, kielbasa, that weighs 6 tons. It's a tribute to the town's Ukrainian heritage and its famous Stoniczy's meat processing, one of Alberta's most beloved sausage makers. Aside from quirky landmarks, Mundare is surrounded by beautiful prairies and lakes, making it perfect for those who love peace, quiet, and nature. Plus, being just 45 minutes from Edmonton, you get the best of both worlds. Cheap land with access to a major city. Final thoughts? If you're looking for the absolute cheapest land in Canada, Mundare is your best bet. With low prices, no sales tax, and financial incentives, it's an incredible investment, even if you just buy land and hold on to it for a few years.